Welcome back to set building with me, Rosiel, obviously. Anyways, I think today, I think today I'm gonna start by, like, building the base floor of, like, a hotel or hostel or something. Just a place where the villagers can inevitably come in and stay. And maybe it's like, Rosiel shows up in this village and the mayor leads her to this hotel and she stays there a couple days before befriending, like, maybe, like, the oldest child of the mayor. Ooh. So I have some of the characters, like, written out and started and all that. I'm missing a block. I just realized that. I'm missing stone bricks, which is what I use for the base of everything, kind of make it look cohesive. I think I may change the roofs though, because what I might do is I might do inverse stairs and then fill it in, just to make the roof not feel so, like, 1-2 hopscotch kind of thing. I don't know. It's slowly not vibing anymore. And what doesn't help is that half of these are made with chisels and bits, and then the other half is made with those, like, stair blanks. So I think I'm just gonna have to redo the roof. Yeah, because it, like, far away, it kind of gives off, like, it matches too much. It needs to be different. I need to change it. I'll figure that out later. But with this, like, architecture, the frame mod, I can modify it however I want with these slants. And I know they also, because I've used them in other builds, hold on, let me show what I'm talking about. They have, like, different types of slopes and stuff, and I think those would be really good. Like, yeah, see this lower slope, this, like, they call it a prism, but I'm gonna bet when I put it on the ground, it's like a half rib. Yeah, it's kind of shaped exactly how I thought it would be, except single block wide. Regardless, not important. I need to grab the block that I originally came over here to grab. So anyways, as I was saying, I think I like the premise of the mayor being evil, like a villain of some sort. And, hold on, let's real quick build. So, stairs right here. And then this will allow me enough to at least get in 3 of the lattice oak. I know it's not technically a lattice, that's not how it's written, but you know what? It's my best way of describing what these things look like. Then I'm gonna bring it up here, and that way we have our path into the village. And maybe, like, this hotel is on the outskirts. But, I had started, and there's 3 characters that are already kind of drafted out, like, and it's because of the, like, sister series that I've been working on. But there's 3 characters that are already kind of drafted out, and they all fill their own roles. But the best friend's character has a name already, and I don't know if I want her to become, like, an immediate best friend, or if I want her to come from this village, the Village of Rain, or if I want to just, like, have her show up in Rain eventually. It's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not sure yet, but it is a work in progress, which is kind of the point. Anyways, but her name is Thea. She is loosely named after Theodosia from well, I say from as if she was fictional. She's not fictional. She is based on her name is based on a real person. But I have recently hit like 6 phases from my childhood all at once. One of them being the reason why I'm building this in the first place, but another one being like my massive obsession. Hold on one second, I'm adjusting my mic, so if audio changes, I apologize. My massive obsession with musicals that I used to have growing up. Regardless of how healthy that is or not. Anyways, one of the musicals I was really obsessed with was Hamilton. It was actually like the first musical I ever listened to, and I'll always hold a special place in my heart for that. But there is like, it's not my favorite musical. It's an important musical because it's important to me and who I am as a person, but it's not my favorite musical. Apologies, I accidentally hit the pause button on OBS, which is the recording software I use. Fun-ish fact, I guess. Regardless, as I was saying, like, yeah, it's not my favorite musical, but it definitely was like a big part of who I was growing up and all that. So anyways, I am going to roughly sketch out, I guess sketch isn't quite the word I want to use, but like get a base idea. Like, I think the stairs should go here, but as I was originally saying, like, the whole thing with like naming this best friend character Theodosia, she's just, her first name is a variation of Theodosia, whereas her actual name is Theodosia, and her nickname is going to be Thea, which, funnily enough, I don't know if the name or the nickname came first, because now that I say it out loud, I don't know if I chose the name Theodosia because I liked Theodosia, and Theodosia, or Thea, happened just to be a more like feminine nickname over Theo, or if it's because I like the nickname Via, which is a nickname for Olivia, and yeah, so I went to VidCon. I met a handful of YouTubers. My favorite interaction was actually with voice actors / YouTubers, Ross and Mega Moika. Again, as most people can probably tell by the medieval setting and everything, that this whole thing is like very heavily inspired by like a very specific creator. But I was super excited. But one of the other people I got to meet was Vizzy Pop, who is most well known as the person behind Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, both of which are coming back, which I'm so excited for. Regardless, I got to meet her, and if you haven't watched it, and if you're a child, I really recommend you don't. But if you haven't watched it, one of the lead characters is named Via, or nicknamed Via. Her first name is Octavia, which is a very pretty name, don't get me wrong, but like, it is a little too close to a name that holds up slight issues for me, and it's not super important, but it's a long story. But Octavia is a pretty name, and if it is your name, go you, that's gorgeous. I prefer it over my own name, but I've always hated my legal name. Yeah, so, a fun fact about me, my first name is not any variation of Rose. Rose is actually my middle name, and it is a mixture of a different obsession that I used to have, which was with the CW show, Supernatural. If you don't connect the dots, it's based off Castiel, which is absolutely fun, because in this, like, world that I'm building, not this one, but the other one I've been talking about, I decided that I had to name a couple characters. So there is a Sammy and a Dean Windsor, and if they do make it into this show, which honestly, knowing me, is entirely plausible. I mean, hold on, I kinda did my math wrong, but I think, oh wait, shoot, okay, that works. Okay, I'm trying to build an entrance hall that doesn't feel like a hallway. Like, I don't want it to feel super tight, because this first floor we're gonna have like a wet bar or a bar or whatever, and just like a place where people can come in and eat and all that. Anyways, yeah, if the characters cross over, I think I'm gonna give them, I'm gonna take out their parents, because in this cross series that I've been working on, like, a lot, they have their parents, and their parents are both alive, which differs from the original CW show, which is all fine and dandy. I'm not copying the show, I'm taking inspiration, and most of the time when I'm working on stuff like this, if I'm taking inspiration from something, it's usually that I'm not, like, taking inspiration from the content of the show itself. It's usually, like, names. Like, another example, there's a character whose last name is Bane, named for Campbell Baines from an old, I want to say Scottish TV show called Taking Over the Asylum, which, again, another one of my, like, obsessions, I guess. I would consider it more of, like, a hyperfixation with actor David Tennant. I watched a lot of his content. I even, like, ranked it a long time ago, which might give away my personal identity, but hey, who said anything about digital security here? Anyways, so I think I'm gonna build this area as, like, an extension. So, like, this is the dining room, or this is the dining room, this is the bar, this is, like, an exit to an outdoor area, something like that. But as I was saying, I had a long running obsession with Doctor Who and David Tennant for a while, and the David Tennant obsession did come from the Doctor Who obsession, not the other way around. My mom loved Doctor Who, so did my late grandfather. God rest his soul, regardless. But they both loved the show, and that's how I got into the show, and that is part of the reason why I like writing fantasy stuff like that, has always interested me, and seeing it from another culture just kind of became something, for no better way of explaining it. But back to the point of the story, the character, so his last name is Bane, and I don't want to give too much away, because I know I'm very prone to giving stuff away. But anyways, yeah, so this is going to be some outdoor seating. I'm going to put okay, that's upside down. I'm going to put some brick stairs, and I know that the brick stairs already exist, but I don't want to go find them when I already have the stair frames in my inventory. Because again, I'm just working on the bottom floor today. I'm already 14 minutes in. Oh God, well, 14 and a half, but whatever, that distinction is not super important in the grand scheme of things. Anyways, but no, like, I take inspiration from a lot of the things that I experience, including my own experience. A lot of the stuff that I write have the main character experiencing the same or similar trauma to me, which probably not as healthy as it sounds. I am a very traumatized young person. Regardless of that, I really believe that there is something to come out of the story that I feel compelled to write, and that story is not going to be this one. This one's definitely intended to be a lot more fantasy than the other. I'm trying to figure out. I think I'm going to do a floor to ceiling window with just like a border. So I'm going to get rid of all of this because it's nice. It looks out at the river, kind of similar to the fisherman's house over there that looks out into the farmland that becomes morally relevant. I just think that this would probably be a really good place for some exposition. The barkeeper tells the young girl how, her mother died, and the hold on 1 second, I'm gonna pause. I just need to make sure that if the pause was noticeable, that it was known why it existed. I had to sneeze, and so I hit pause on my OBS. During my first ever attempt at recording episode 1, so every week, and my poor computer's like memory drive and all that, every week before I start recording, I make a hard copy of the world and date it with the day's date. That way, if something happens and I lose my recording, I still have the original world pre-set building episode. So, anyways, this is going to make a really good exposition space where characters, I think the light gray is going to be good for this window to make it look like it's supposed to be panes, and then I can do like more detailed windows later, because I think I'm not going to have any windows on this wall. Maybe a small window in the center of this wall. Oh, that's cute. It's like a little extra sunlight coming in. I don't know though if I want to put the like counter over here and have it be like this is the dining space and then walk out to the dining space, that way the window is there, because it feels more natural for the... No, that doesn't look good. I apologize if my nose is stuffed. Get rid of that corner. I feel like it makes more sense if the bar is over here, just with this like space, which I'm probably going to turn into a receptionist space. Like I'm going to put a desk right here with a chair, that way people can like do memes and all that and write stuff down, which I think I have the perfect prop for in the hobbies section of the Decocraft mod, which I think I passed. Which is maybe one of these typewriters. I'm not sure. Typewriter wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't know if it's also the right idea. Yeah, there's nothing in bedrooms, there's nothing in signage, there's nothing in shops that I would personally want to use. Like, these diner tables are kind of nice, but I feel like there's a more updated setting for those to come in. not in tech. However, the smartphones and the tablet might like come into play. But I probably won't mess much with the like tech section. Not storage. I saw it. I apologize for my creaking chair as well. I know I saw something. Is it under clutter? I like those one chimes. Those are cute. A lunchbox. Oh yeah, notepads. These I think would be a really good addition. Hold on, I'm adjusting in my seat, which is why there's all the creaking. So I don't know if that would actually be a good addition. So I think I'm gonna do the typewriter instead. But decoration might be saved for next week, as I'm already 20 minutes in. But anyways, I think that I am going to make this place. So, episode 1, she spawns in a random place. And maybe in a way to use like the waystones in a very fascinating way rather than just a behind the scenes utility, is she goes and she touches this magical looking stone. And suddenly she vanishes from where she started. And then, without warning, she's in a village. Or near a village, to be precise. Oh, that's a lie. I thought it was a cockroach. I'll get back to like the mystical storytelling later. I need to explain my like mini losing it there. So the setting for the other place, I was trying to figure out the lights, and it just nothing was working, and cockroaches kept spawning, and I had like a bunch of chairs, and so the cockroaches would spawn and then get stuck in the chairs. If you've ever played Minecraft Comes Alive, and had like our villagers get stuck in the chairs from the crayfish mod, because they'll get too close, and so the mods assume that they're trying to sit. Yeah, that's what the cockroaches did, and I literally had to keep a sword in my inventory until I realized, oh wait, I can turn off mob spawning, which I did for that world because the mobs were getting in my way. And it was just cockroach, and then everyone else vanished. But back to like the mystical storytelling. So anyways, this young woman finds herself stranded in a village she doesn't know, far away from where she started. Not that she knows much anyways. And the innkeeper, Mrs. Brackett, is like, oh, you poor thing, how about you come in? Let's get you a food and a bed for the night. We can sort everything else out in the morning. I don't know if I wanted her to be British or Southern. Both accents are things I played around with a lot. But then the next morning, there is a knock at the door, and it's the mayor. And the mayor's like, I saw this weird young lady enter your establishment yesterday. Do you care to explain? And she's like, oh, well, yes, Mayor. Or Lord, or whatever term we decide to use. This young girl, she doesn't know where she's from. She barely even knows who she is. I brought her in. It was quite dark, and the monsters come out, and God, she just needed shelter. Thank you, Mrs. Brackett. and then just leaves, no other context provided, and the only person suspicious of this weird confrontation is the fisherman, who wasn't even involved in the confrontation. He just chose a different spot of the lake and happened to hear it through an open door or something. Maybe they're outside in the little villa area. I need to name like all of these characters here. Like in the other world, I've already talked about Dean and Mr. Baines and Thea and Sammy, and I think I mentioned Hollis, which is another character. He was the first character I designed after I finished designing Rosiel's in character skin, like the character Rosiel skin, because obviously I'm Rosiel, but this skin is loosely based off of what I look like in real life, minus the hair color, because I dyed my hair on impulse like 2 weeks ago, last time I got paid. But like now my hair is half black, half purple. But this character, the Rosiel character, is going to be based on an old model that I used to work with. She is modified, and I'm HD'd her eyes. Originally, I was going to do this HD variation for her eyes, and then I did it, and it just didn't look good with her specific eyes. Like, it looks good with this one because, like my real eyes, that heterochromia is within each eye itself. So I have what is known as central heterochromia. Basically, it's the most common type of heterochromia. Basically, the inside and outside of my iris produce different levels of melanin. So the inside of my iris is blue, and most people, that's what they see. Most people, if they looked at me, would say I have blue eyes. The problem is, when I look at myself, I have green eyes. So it's the outer ring of my eye is blue and the inner ring of my eye is green, which was really difficult for my brain to like comprehend for this design. So I decided to instead do a top to bottom green to blue, and I thought that just kind of worked a little bit better. So, and it's actually like pulled from my real eye colors, so lying about my appearance? No, not me. Anyways, I don't think I'll ever go to like an event like VidCon or anything similar as me, but I might go I don't think I'll go as me, Rosiel, but I probably will go as me, the cameraman, for lack of more accurate terms. I think, though, for now, this is a perfect like pause point. I have the bottom floor all drafted out. I will probably end up deciding later which side I want to do as the dining room versus the like bar itself. I'll add the reception desk and all that. And I also need to figure out if I want to make the top floor a box and then have this be like a large master guest room, and then have this be an open space, and then do a couple smaller rooms back here, or if I want to like extend it out to where there's a covered porch right here, and then extend this whole like outdoor area. I can extend it out so that way there's more space, more rooms. But I think that will have to be figured out next time. I am going to go downstairs, and I am going to stand right here, and I am going to do my outro real quick, and then I'm going to turn this into a thumbnail. Regardless, it was really nice talking to you guys today, and I hope to see anyone back next week. Bye-bye!